Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Trailer Park. I am one of your hosts, AC, and today we will be reviewing the trailer for 20th Century Studios' new film, The Last Duel. Let's go.
There is only one question that matters.
Ooh.
Do you swear on your life that what you say is true?
I don't know.
My father told me my life would be blessed with good fortune.
Okay. Big hits, big crowds.
I'm married.
I'm married.
I was a good wife.
Was. Past tense. Oh
And then was judged and shamed by my country.
no. Oh
I say before all of you, I spoke the truth.
no. Ooh, based on a true story. Okay.
Charge has been brought against you.
Jacques Legris entered our home. He attacked me.
The accusation is false.
Oh no.
I am telling the truth.
Adam Driver, no, we
does
did
not
this.
matter. There is only the power of men.
This should be settled
Hitting
quietly.
the truth today.
I request
Adam
a
Driver
duel to
doesn't
the
do
death.
quietly.
If you lose, your wife would suffer dire consequences.
One of us has lied. Let us let God decide.
You do not believe me.
I am risking my life for you.
You are risking my life so you can save your pride.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
The penalty for bearing false witness is that you are to be burned alive.
I will not be silent.
Ooh. Here we go. Okay, we have really cool devices of shots showing up in these crosses. We have immediately Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Adam Driver. I don't know who the blonde woman is who is the lead here, but best believe we're gonna go find out together. Oh, wow. The amount of, like, in terms of sound design, the amount of, like, clashing swords and, like, clear sounds of stone on metal and breathy, I have done this for you, and no, you haven't. Just, the drama. I'm just here to eat it up. I think we all have seen a lot of historical dramas in general in the last decade. You know, you have the Medicis, you have Game of Thrones, if you want to count that as a historical drama. You have the Borgias. You have, I mean, you could count Bridgerton if you really wanted to. There are duels in that, yeah. Not quite ancient history, but, you know, the fact that we keep coming back to stories set in previous times is very interesting to me, and I might dive into that a little bit more later. We shall see. I am also very intrigued by the fact that this is based on a true story. I want to look more into that. Is it being based on a true story, but not giving any names in the trailer makes me wonder how closely they're sticking to any sort of historical fact. We'll have to go find out more, and when we come back for the review, I'll see what I have been able to dig up and share it with the rest of you. What a delicious trailer to get into. This film is based on the true, much debated still story of Jacques Leclerc and the Courage family, which is from the 1300s in France, the 1380s to be specific. It is interesting that they didn't use any French accents for this. This is another epic film coming from this week's Trailer Park favorite, Ridley Scott. Scott Free Productions, 20th Century Studios. They dropped the Fox. Pearl Street Productions. You might know Pearl Street because it is Ben Affleck's producing company. They did the Jason Bourne films, Manchester by the Sea, which was robbed, by the way, and City on a Hill, among many, many, many other wonderful works. As you can tell from the trailer, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon not only star in this film, they're the writing team for this film. Well, 2/3 of it. This is actually the first time they've written together on a work since their burst onto the scene with Good Will Hunting. They made magic then, and maybe they'll make magic again. We'll see. They've also brought in the tried and true writing skills of Nicole Holofcener, who wrote Enough Said, Please Give, Can You Ever Forgive Me, and has worked on a lot of television. This is also the first film that Matt Damon has written that was not also directed by Gus Van Sant, for those of you keeping track. This film is based on the 2004 take on the Leclerc Courage story by Eric Jager called The Last Duel, a true story of trial by combat in medieval France. Building out the rest of the production team, we have Scott Free Productions favorites, Darius Volsky, who you might remember with stunning photography from The Martian, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and of course, Gore Verbinski's Pirates of the Caribbean film series. Also from The Martian, we have Arthur Max, who's the lead in production design, Harry Gregson Williams, who's the composer, more on him in a minute, oh my goodness, and the editor for this film is Claire Simpson, who was behind the Best Picture Oscar winner of 1986, Platoon. Not to mention nominees Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, Far from the Madding Crowd, and also being released this year with Adam Driver, The House of Gucci. We need to take a moment and talk about the composer for this film, Harry Gregson Williams. He's a BAFTA Award winner. He's worked with almost everyone involved in this film, with Ben Affleck in Attack on the Town and Gone Baby Gone, with both of the Scott brothers, may Tony rest in peace, Tony on Domino, Man of Fire, and Spy Game. He also worked on The Martian, which had Matt Damon in it, and Prometheus and Kingdom of Heaven. But his BAFTA nomination was for Shrek. That's right, he's behind that. That brings us all to the most emotional moments of our childhood. I don't think he can claim Smash Mouth, though. This film was originally expected to be released in Christmas of 2020, which is an interesting choice for a film with this kind of story. It is now slated for October 15th, 2021. That's right, 1 week before Dune, The Last Duel comes out. Ridley Scott has a lot of premieres to attend in October. I don't think he's up for trick-or-treating. However, is up for everyone going in costume. Originally, both Affleck and Damon were slated to play their lead roles, just like they did in Good Will Hunting. But Affleck had some scheduling conflicts with Deep Water and some other stuff, so he said, nah man, I will step back and I'll play this supporting role. I'm still in the film. I'll play the supporting role instead. And so we have Adam Driver being a large man with a sword and a past. Jodie Comer, who some people might recognize as playing Rey's mother in the last Star Wars film, which I know some people like to pretend never happened, but I'm sorry, she's there. She's more commonly known though for her starring television role opposite Sandra Oh in Killing Eve as Villanelle, or where they probably pulled her from The White Princess, where she starred as Elizabeth of York. We also have Harriet Walter, who is also a Star Wars vet, having played Dr. Colonia in the prequels, and more importantly, for those of you who love historical adaptations, she was Fanny Dashwood in the 1995 BBC adaptation of Sense and Sensibility. Look at her now, critiquing power structures. We also have a single shot of Alex Lothar as Charles VI. You might know him from The Imitation Game playing baby Alan Turing. This story has come a long way. Again, it is a true story, the facts of which were recorded while it was in litigation at the Palais de Justice in France in the 1380s. The short blurb that is offered on IMDb currently just states, Charles VI declares that Knight Jean de Courrouge settled his dispute with his squire by challenging him to a duel, which completely removes Marguerite de Courrouge from the story entirely. This is her story. This is her trailer. This story, the facts of the case have been and continue to be debated in law classes in France and by any academic, notably Diderot and Voltaire. This story is now at least 900 years old. I can't do math. Hey, Nick? Yeah? Can you do 2021 minus 1386?
Hey, Google. 635.
Thank you. 605 years after the events of
635.
635. Is that it?
Yeah, 635.
Thank you. 635 years after the events that take place in this film, what the truth is still not convincingly known. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt. People still don't know what side to take here. The film very clearly is going to take the side of Marguerite, but we don't know what the rest of it will be. Maybe they'll release a trailer purely from the point of view of Jacques Leclerc. That's Adam Driver's character. That'd be a really good marketing plot if you wanted to just talk about how the truth is messy and sometimes not known. Let's get into what makes this trailer tick. Here at Trailer Park, we have our lovely 9 criteria that we're going to run through if you are new to Trailer Park, and you probably are, because we're new. This is still our first few weeks up and running this YouTube channel, so thank you for watching and thanks for your support. We have tone, title, cinematography, internal narrative, external narrative, music, pacing, hype factor, and our favorite, popcorn ability. The tone of this trailer really hits the mark. We have the soft voices, the loud yelling, dramatic eye contact. Everything is dark, kinda dirty. It's very Game of Thrones. There's even trial by combat. The color palette is accurate for what they want, but I won't lie, it's not particularly interesting. I'm more interested in these blonde goatees Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are trying to pull off. Who's in charge here? Who let this happen? Looking at the title, it is a cool title, standalone, and it is directly taken from the book upon which the movie is based, but the trailer doesn't substantiate the title. Just watching the trailer, I don't understand the reason behind the title. Going to Wikipedia and looking up these events, the true story that we have, and if you want to avoid spoilers, don't go to Wikipedia and look this up. Apparently, this particular duel was the last trial by combat allowed by the French royalty and the parliament in Paris. And again, it's one that's still debated. 635 years later. 635 years later. Still debated. The very last one. So if you wanted to know, after watching Game of Thrones, why nobody does this anymore, I guess we'll get our answers watching this. Again, we have the brilliant Dariusz Wolski running the camera here, and the cinematography in this trailer is possibly one of the most interesting things about it. We open with only pieces of Marguerite shown, her eyes with the screen opening across them like someone looking through a prison door. And with this, we're immediately told that the truth is fuzzy and incomplete. It's never the full picture. Also, that everything is dark and gray and low lighting, unless we're outside with this great diffuse scattered lighting that is, as a Pacific Northwesterner, very accurate. The world does look that gray. Anytime we see these small, insubstantial pieces crossing and overlapping each other with the slow fade, we get a sense of literally not getting the full picture. Except for the end where the cut fades to a cross shape. Were they going for a sword? It really ends up looking like a Christian cross. You have the wide shots of the arena, the framing of Legris going into the Carouge home, the private moment of marital conflict between the Carouges, not to mention the actual shots of combat with a 147-person stunt team. We are in for a treat. The internal narrative, or the story the trailer is telling us. The story is very simple. The trailer is very, very well cut in this way. She was attacked. No one believes her. Everyone is ready to put her to death for saying that she was attacked because they want to believe that she is lying. Her husband steps in and demands a trial by combat, and we don't know the ending. Bless them for not telling us the ending. Again, if you want to avoid spoilers, don't look up the true story until after you see the film. The external narrative, what we can at least surmise the actual film is going to be about, is very easy in this case because, again, it is based on a true story. The music in this does start out as fairly generic on the first listen. If you only watch it once, you're gonna go, oh yeah, okay. We start with low hums, big clashes and hits with the jump cuts. And honestly, if you're listening to it with headphones, the sudden shift from the soft, dulcet tones of Jodie Comer,
My father told me my life would be blessed with good fortune.
immediately followed by the huge crashes, can suck for your eardrums. Or if you are someone who is hard of hearing in any way, just watch with subtitles. It might be a little bit better for your brain. Though it appears at first to be fairly generic with those soft tones and then the big hits and jump cuts and everything, the music's rhythm carries this trailer. It gets you through it. From those initial jump cuts letting you know this is an action piece, this is a drama, yes, but there is gonna be fighting, there's gonna be aggression, we're gonna be mad about it. All the way to the near silent penultimate monologue with her I will not be silent, where it leaves us with a shing reminiscent of a sword being drawn and bass building up momentum again to get you hype, all overlaid with this eerie synth sound. Again, a sense that something is off, something is not quite right. Overall, great sound design. And again, looking at Gregson Williams' CV, he's like the Allstate of composition, this whole design team. I like being in good hands in this day and age. Gregson Williams did just do Disney's live-action Mulan, and the music is largely cited as the only good part of that film. The music does carry us through here, and it helps with the pacing of this trailer. It keeps things moving. It is a really clear trailer. Again, it tells the story. They haven't told us who of our three leads will die. It could be Adam Driver. It could be Matt Damon. It could even be Jodie Comer. Wait. She usually does the killing. Variety, I guess. We get into hype factor, which is just how much the trailer personally hypes us. And while I do want to see this film, it is a fairly interesting premise, I'm not so overly excited about it. I had initially thought it was going to be about ladies with swords. But instead, it's about a woman defending her testimony of abuse in an extremely public trial against a fairly popular figure. Where have I heard this before? Oh, yeah. Moving on to popcorn ability. If you're into Game of Thrones, well, seasons 1 through 4 at least. If you're in general a fan of Ridley Scott, be sure to check out Nick's trailer review of that. And while you're here, go ahead and subscribe. That being said, it's a big epic drama with a lot of combat and probably really great dialogue. That's still a story about a woman being assaulted and having to defend herself, and her husband defending her very, very publicly, which is not everyone's cup of tea. The moment of Harriet Walter saying, "The truth does not matter, only the power of men," really seems to encapsulate the whole story and, well, the patriarchal society we're still in. So we'll see how it goes. As for this trailer, as a trailer, I give it 4 out of 5 swords. Thank you so much for joining us as we reviewed the trailer for The Last Duel, again coming to theaters only October 15th, 2021. If you're going to see this film, or maybe if you won't based off of the trailer, let us know in the comments below. Or if there's a trailer you want us to review, let us know. You can follow both Nick and I on Instagram, and you can give us a like, a subscribe, and you can even ring the bell if you want to be notified when we upload again. We're looking towards an ambitious uploading schedule, but we'll see how things go. What do you want to see? Thanks again for joining us. I'm AC, and this has been a review of white men yelling at each other over a lady they consider their property. Bye!